Episode 127. Briardian sure seems competent. I feel like part of the reason they introduced this character in the patch 2.x Hildebrand quests was to give players a little sneak preview as to what Ishgardians might look and feel like in the upcoming Heaven's Ward expansion. Sure, you deal a lot with Ishgardians in A Realm Reborn, over in Central Quartus or whatever. But all of those guys are soldiers and whatnot. Pretty much. People just sent out to deal with Ishgard's problems. This guy's some guy. And I guess stripped of whatever military feeling any Ishgardians up in Central Quartus might have, all that's left is just some prestigious fomp. Which is exactly what you want Ishgardians to feel like, I guess. But I guess the feelings and the lore that you get from the Hildebrand questlines aren't necessarily going to be representative of the game as a whole. Sometimes it's hard to consider what happens in Hildebrand quests as canon even. But it is canon, believe it or not. Mayhap Miss Maria should be the one to present the vase. I hope she likes it. If every component of an object were to be replaced, could the resulting object be fundamentally considered the same? Philosophers are unsure. Godbert does not care. The item descriptions tend to be a goldmine in Hildebrand quests. Mother, I brought you the vase. By the gods, have you all no shame? How dare you make my daughter complicit in your chicanery? I don't know where you found this gaudy trash, but it bears no resemblance whatsoever to the vase I purchased. Now see here, Lady Dorilda. Not only did you send Maria to fetch your priceless vase alone, placing her in considerable danger should bandits or wild beasts attack, which they did, but... Gaudy trash. Lord Manderville, sir. I did not realize you had arrived. Though I know it is nothing compared to the lavish accommodations an esteemed gentleman such as yourself must enjoy, I pray my humble abode meets with your satisfaction. Oh, it does, my lady, it does indeed. Especially that exquisite vase over yonder. Although I gather from your previous comments that you do not like my reconstruction. Your reconstruction? Oh, I don't like it. I love it. I would go so far as to call it the new centerpiece of my Thorn Dynasty collection. Ah, what a relief. I would have been most distressed had you said otherwise. We Mandervilles do so take pride in our work, and ever strive for professional perfection. Oh, but why am I repeating what my son Hildebrand doubtless told you when he offered to investigate the duelist threats? Enough expository banter, I say. I cannot recall if your son used those precise words, but I do remember thinking that his help would be most welcome. You will be helping us, Inspector Hildebrand, will you not? Wait a minute. If your father is Lord Godbert Manderville, the man who took Yolande Quiveron's seat on the Syndicate. Took the seat. Is that maybe implying that Yolande Quiveron was maybe in 1.0 someone on the Syndicate? Or maybe even during the events of 2.0 someone on the Syndicate, and Godbert only took the seat sometime during the patch 2.x quests which are happening now. I think I previously theorized that Godbert could have been sitting in on one of the whole Syndicate cutscene things, just sort of disguised up. Maybe he was never part of the Syndicate until just now. Well, it doesn't really matter. He's part of the Syndicate now. It appears there have been a great many developments over the past 10 years, of which I was completely unaware. In any case, We must direct our energies towards the investigation of the thieving duelist. Our first order of business will be to review all the facts with consenting Inspector Briardian. That's who he is. Consenting Inspector Briardian. What was his actual title again? Not conniving. Well, Hildebrand will get it right eventually, right? I think she likes it. Come, we have a thief to catch. Let us seek out Inspector Briardian at once. I hope I did not speak over much earlier. My wife would describe it as a proclivity to pontificate, but I prefer to think of it as an earnest desire to establish rapport with my fellow man. Even his normal attire is kind of dressed down a little bit, isn't it? Why are you still here? Allow me to elucidate. Lady Dorilda has asked that we assist with the investigation. Now kindly share with us all your information. Fine. Our plans have advanced to a stage that even you couldn't ruin them anyway. I commissioned several reproductions of the Treaty Blade through a merchant named Jodonpa, who traffics in counterfeit antiques. These blades have been delivered to the observatorium, where they are being distributed amongst Lady Dorilda's sellswords. Once I give the order, they will transport them via alternate routes to Vesper Bay. Oh, I think I get it. You're hiding the real transport with a bunch of decoys, right? They're all decoys. The moment the thief strikes, all our forces will converge on his location, including those disguised as small folk along each route. The real Treaty Blade will remain in the original owner's vault until the thief has been apprehended. Everything has been accounted for. You are superfluous. He is quite super. Mayhap we could use more small folk to watch the roads in and out of the observatorium, assuming you have the capacity to conduct yourself in an unassuming fashion. Fear not, my fellow inspector, for I am a master of disguise. Have you any information regarding the duelist himself? A description? You never thought to ask Humphrey, did you? The thief is said to be a towering brute dressed in red, who wields a halberd. Ha! A man so garishly dressed should be easy to find in snowy Corythus. Then I suppose we don't need your help after all, do we? Come or don't. I couldn't care less. Be seeing you. You get enough sleep, Nashu? Pray forgive my lateness. Greg, my good man. What a pleasure to see you again. We just received new information regarding the weapon thief. A victim described him as a halberd-wielding brute dressed in... a ridiculous outfit. A ridiculous outfit? Oh, now I'm intrigued. What reasons could a warrior have for wearing impractical clothing? Aha, what reasons indeed. It is enough to make a gentleman laugh. Comedy of errors. That damnable demon bird continues to elude me, but no longer. Soon I shall claim my revenge and weapon both. Elixirs? Well, okay. Why elixirs? Allow me to summarize our current plan of action. Our destination is the observatorium, and our mission is to pose as goodly small folk, in accordance with Inspector Briardian's instructions. Naturally, should the situation demand improvisation, we are to disregard those instructions. Any questions? No. Then let us sally forth at once. My redoubtable confederate, you are an experienced traveler, are you not? Why don't you lead the way to Quarthus? You know, I hope this is the last time we have to go to the observatorium. Without a Aether right there, it's always a pain to just fly on over. Takes less than a minute, but it's the principle of the matter. Hail to thee, fellow servant of justice. I take it you are one of the many tasked with transporting a counterfeit treaty blade. Clearly, you've mistaken me for someone else, sir. At ease, Sergeant. They're with us. More small folk. Keep an eye on them, or else. But sir, bugger me. Don't you bloody move until I get back. I say, is this land always so inhospitable? The biting winds, the endless snows. Mayhap keeping active will help me to stay warm. Oh, and should I chance to find the thieving duelist, I will of course summon you, after administering the requisite beating. Comedy of errors. Good, you're still here. Wasn't there someone else with you a moment ago? Ah, you speak of Greg. He ventured outside the gates a mere moments before your arrival, full eager to catch the thief, as are we. Come, Nashu, we too must answer the call of duty. You look like you might actually be useful. Why don't you have a word with my man near the east gates? We're undermanned over there. Remember, we're looking for a brute in red who wields a halberd. You see the bastard, you come to me. No heroics. We take him together, understand? Yeah, we're just here to watch. We're not going to report anyone. We're no snitch. Right, Komori? East is that way. Was there a little balloon floating way up there? I guess that's the Ixal, isn't it? Just looking around for any other NPCs from the Hildebrand quest. Might spot Inspector Briardian just chilling around somewhere. Maybe even Elaine. Or was it Aline? I guess not. Any halberd-wielding mummers shall answer to me. You see that just now? No? I don't think my eyes are playing tricks on me. But there's only one way to be sure. You wait here. Inspector, over there. Look. What is it, Noshu? Pray, tell me what you see. Aha, I see you, demon bird. You will not escape me this time. Why, hello there, my friends. Is Artemis? Oh, it's just Greg. For a moment I thought you might have spotted our thief. Come, Nashu. We have lingered over long. We must digress post-haste. Inspector Hildebrand, Agent of Inquiry. What a guy. There's not out of the ordinary here either. It's Ellie. Not Aline, not Elaine. It's Ellie. No luck, We have scoured every ilm of this area to no avail. I can only conclude that, having learned that his opponent was to be the legendary Inspector Hildebrand, the duelist renounced his criminal ways and retreated into hiding. Or perhaps he is waiting patiently outside the walls for more wagons to leave. That being said, should you decide to venture into the wilderness, you had best arm yourself with more than your wits. I appreciate your concern, Miss Ellie, but a gentleman should abstain from violence unless absolutely necessary. I'll fight for you, Inspector. I even found a weapon to use. By the 12, is that the self-same spear which propelled me to the Red Moon? Wherever did you find it? It was buried in the snow. Well, one cannot ignore the will of destiny. Return it to me, Nashu. Though I will still endeavor to avoid fisticuffs, I will be duly armed should the worst come to worst. Now then, we begin our search for the duelist to the east of the observatorium. Where does Gilgamesh go? In between all of the Final Fantasy games. He always pops in and out of different games, but I don't know what he calls home, or where he calls home. Maybe that place in Rebirth is his home? Come now, how hard can it be to find a large man dressed in red and court this? Keep silent, Komoy. We're still watching. They seem awfully unconcerned with that gazebo. Cor, it's cold out here. Take your post, my good woman, and entrust your safety to me. Inspector Hildebrand is ready for battle. I guess the Garby was intimidated by Hildebrand's spear. I would be too. Look how muscular Hildebrand is. He clearly knows how to use that thing. Wherefore art thou, my nefarious nemesis? 'Twas not the selfsame creature, but one of many. Nevertheless, I know that my weapon is close by. You sense it too, don't you? I can only assume hours passed, maybe even days. Greg, I've been meaning to ask. Why do you covet this weapon so? If you beheld it, you would understand. In some ways it bore resemblance to a spear, but in other respects, it was quite different. It was crowned with a magnificent axe blade, to which was welded a musket barrel. "'Twas one of the first weapons I added to my collection after arriving in these lands. Ah, how I yearned to reclaim it, the strongest of spears." "That weapon of yours bears a striking resemblance to the strongest of spears. I claimed this weapon 5 years ago. Surely you can't be serious." Now you call me Shirley. No matter. Give it to me. Give it to me." "This spear and I have traveled together to the very heavens. I will not relinquish it again. This spear and I have bested many a man together. I will not relinquish it again." Then we are at an impasse. The animation team really gets their practice in with these quests. Not just facial expressions, although that's largely part of it. Are you still having fun, Komori? I hope you are. I can't believe I'm saying this, but well done, Inspector. Thanks to you, we've caught the weapon thief in the act. Miss Ellie, you are grossly misreading our dispute. Greg is a good, honest man, who I am certain has never stolen a weapon in his life. Indeed, I have not. Every weapon I have claimed was by rights mine. Each was a trophy for besting my opponent in single combat. I believe that constitutes a confession. See them. A confession to what? I have done naught wrong. Bah, you are all beyond reason. Yes. My plan to secure Greg's confession was utterly flawless, and his capture will be the coup de grace. Well, my plan is thus far flawless. Griffin Crossing is still impassable. I know who you are, even if that imbecile doesn't, so let's not mince words. Only you have the skill to face the duelist in battle. Even so, your strength alone will likely not suffice. I suggest you muster what allies you can. I actually forgot we'd be having this. It's a little bit late at night to be getting into something that requires allies. We'll see if it happens, though. His name isn't really Greg, is it? Lest you find my advice unsporting, I remind you that our duty supersedes any misbegotten notions of honor you may possess. Which way did he go, Komori? Did you see? Stop nodding off, Nashu. This is why you lose him every time. That was fast. Nashu? Miss Ellie? Ah, my good woman. It is a relief to hear your footfalls. As you have doubtless deduced, I was unable to prevent Greg from escaping through the doors. I must leave the rest to you. Yes, it was I behind these doors the whole time. You took so long to arrive, I was getting worried you might have gotten lost. Long did I wonder what your role in this play was. A silent guardian, content to watch events unfold with minimal interaction. At the last, I understand. We were fated to duel, you and I. Best me and you may have the spear. Fail and your weapons are forfeit. Fair terms, do you not think? I will even extend them to your allies. I grant you leave to summon others. After all, it will avail you no advantage. For Gilgamesh, it is embiggening time. He's bigger now. And so is Enkidu. Somehow. The battle on the Big Bridge. Gilgamesh's famous encounter. Do not worry about me, my friend. I shall extricate myself in due time. "13-minute wait time is better than I would have hoped for this late hour of night. I knew there would be trials in the Hildebrand questline, but I forgot this actually happened here. Actually, this whole gate over here, Griffin Crossing, I didn't realize this was Battle on the Big Bridge. I just thought it was one of the several little gates or doors or whatever that dot Eorzea in A Realm Reborn that the developers put in maybe for expanding the world a little bit. Maybe set dressing, but also potentially gates to future areas that maybe never got used. In this case, it was used. It was used for Battle on the Big Bridge. But I don't actually know where this bridge goes to. Somewhere into Apalathia's spine? The mountainous region over there? Apparently, according to Priority, and it's a dead end, so maybe it's just one of those bridges that was never finished. I'll try to pay attention to the architecture when we get into the trial proper. Until then. Surprisingly, only took a few minutes over 14 minutes. I guess you get priority for Gilgamesh. Battle on the Big Bridge, not exactly Gilgamesh's most notorious outing. I mean, Battle on the Big Bridge always is, but compared to his other battles on the big bridges, the one in 14, That's what he sounds like. I forgot what he sounded like. Yeah, this battle in 14. Not exactly as flashy as the one in Rebirth, but that's not really fair for comparison. And that's it. We won.
It's just too much for me. Not half my life. Everything. Why, I've been hurt. This is far from the strongest of fears. I feel so betrayed. Goodness gracious. I, just remembered something.
How rude. Going off and running on his own. That was the wrong move. The cast time just takes too long. And now Encoder, all over the field.
I will pound you, silly! Aha! Rocket punch!
Great, now I'm confused. No way to avoid that. He's just a funny guy. Inflicts a bunch of funny status effects. Funny chickens all over the floor. Oh, I'm back. I didn't even realize. He even made some of our own people toads. At least you don't have to go through that again, eh, Gilmore? Got enough of that in Palace of the Dead. This fight actually goes by much faster and... Oh great, you're a toad again. It goes by much faster than it previously did. Stop pecking me. Yeah, this part you're just supposed to run around to avoid the chickens, I guess. Funny guy. What I'm trying to say is that this goes by much faster than it did when it came out, like most things, but this one in particular, a lot faster than most trials. It's already over. For real this time.
Well then. That's enough of a beating for now.
I forgot Gilgamesh gets voiced. There's no way I can replicate his voice or anything, but... oh well. So this bridge really is just incomplete. That's why it's a dead end. I see. Where was it meant to go? Why build this bridge? Just over to the mountains over there? Part of Ishgard's expansionist policy or something? You can see some of the wreckage from Central Quartus just over there. I don't think Ishgard even had an expansionist policy. I guess this is just one of their forts or something. Or was going to be. We beat Gilgamesh. That was a lot easier than Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Why, Greg? Why? Are you dead again, Inspector? How many swords did he drop while... Wait, doesn't that one there look just like Eleazar's sword? But even to my untrained eye, this is obviously a counterfeit blade. And so is this one. And this one. What in the world? Eleazar's blade? Wasn't that like a curved one? Or no? The one that we fetched out of the water was a curved blade. But I guess the joke was that The one from the water was nothing like any of these swords here. So Eleazar, recognizing it, was stupid, basically. Alone yet still armed. In any case, he seemed satisfied with the halberd. We'll proceed with the delivery. If you wish to be present, I won't object. Meet me in Vesper Bay. There's a kind of aura of stupidity that Hildebrand emanates on people around him. Nashu, I think, is stupid on her own, but he also makes other people that are normally serious around him stupid. Are you becoming stupid yourself, Komori? We shouldn't really be having this cutscene in the rain. Oh well. Ah, 'tis more magnificent than I imagined. 'Twill make a fine addition to my collection. And with that, our business is concluded. Cheers. I genuinely mean that in your case, by the way. All's well that ends well, right, Inspector? Though it's a shame that Greg turned out to be the thief. Here you are, Inspector Byardian. Why did you not wait for me at the docks? Why are you all staring at me so? Oh, never mind that. Where is my treaty blade? But didn't we just give you the treaty blade? Okay, maybe the rain makes this a bit more dramatic. Disguise yourself as the client, and let the treaty blade come to you. Take advantage of an existing situation to distract us from the real crime. Brilliant. The man in red never spoke of the treaty blade, only the halberd. Moreover, he always issued his challenges in person. Dear gods, isn't it obvious? What is it like in your funny little brains? It must be so boring. If the man in red did not send the challenge, then who did? Aura of stupidity. I bet you like that, don't you? I believe this is addressed to me, condescending Inspector Byardian. No, that would be you, in this case. Piss off. 400 years have I slept, 1,000 faces do I wear. What is yours will be mine. I shall come to claim the Lapis Maiden's virtue. A many-faced phantom thief. Interesting. The design and wording are the same as before. The thief who stole the treaty blade sent this. Very well. I and I alone, Hildebrand, agent of inquiry, inspector extraordinaire, once more accept your challenge. You want a challenge, huh? Stand and face me, you buffoon. How dare you all laugh at a time like this, after allowing my precious treaty blade to be stolen? And you, Marie. Well, I suppose it is a little funny, isn't it? The two of them dashing to and fro. A pair of gentlemen mummers. You know, it's been far too long since we've seen a show. We should head into the city later. Just you and me. Not bad, Hildy. Not bad at all. You are indeed a Manderville man. Mark my face, O phantom of many faces, for it is the face of the... Is he gonna finish that thought? I guess not. The fiend dares lay claim to the fair maiden's virtue. As seeds of jealousy quicken within Inspector's soul, can true love bloom on this battlefield? Will this Manderville man find his Manderville wife? Hey, which was the goggles those men were wearing? They look special. Maybe if I ask nicely, they'll give me a pair. I guess we'll find out next time. I hope you get those goggles, Nashu. If I were better at this, I would end the episode right at the end of that preview. The entire length of the episode could have been, I guess, the entire length of one patch quest. But I'm not that good, so I'm going to go right into the next episode of Inspector Manderville's Big Adventure, whatever these are called. There's an actual proper name for them. Hildebrand Adventures? I think it's just as simple as that. I hope it's sunny over there, and not this weather. Ah, there you are. I've been doing some investigating of my own since we last parted. 5 minutes ago. I believe I found our Lapis Maiden. The girl's name is Arabella, daughter of one Master Guguremu, a prominent member of the East Alternate Trading Company. Her eyes and hair are a most exceptional shade of blue. Her beauty is the talk of the Sultanate. Her purported beauty, I should say. You see, none have actually seen the girl in the flesh. Apparently her father is the overprotective sort. Some say that the maiden has never set foot outside the family's well-guarded estate. But that is all about to change. Rumor has it that the girl is to be wed. And not just to anyone, mind you, to the heir of the Brugair Consortium. The formal announcement is set to be made at a commemorative feast, to be jointly hosted by the two family businesses. The venue is Costa del Sol, where preparations are going on as we speak. Word on the street is that the bride-to-be will be making a rare public appearance. It is here that the thief intends to strike. I couldn't be more certain of it. Piqued your interest, have I? My sources tell me that the bride's father is already in Costa del Sol, overseeing the preparations. This is one scoop I'm not going to miss, and you're welcome to come along. You're slowly becoming more and more of an idiot the more you watch this, Komori. It's like boob tube, but in real life. Brain rot television. Let's watch more. It's either this or go back home to the Rising Stones, where everything is serious and drab. Let's keep laughing a little bit longer. It's raining here. It's always raining. Weather will change in around 4 hours Eorzean time, and I'm not going to sit around for it. But maybe when Inspector Hildebrand arrives, he'll bring a ray of sunshine with him, as he tends to do. By which I mean, maybe the cutscene will have different weather than the actual overworld weather. One can only hope. This is Master Guguremu of the East Aldernate Trading Company, and father of the bride. Let's see what he can tell us. You're not one of my associates. This banquet is for invited guests only. If you have no business here, be on your way at once. Beg pardon, good sir. My name is Ellie, reporter for the Mittel Eye. If I might have just a moment of... Ah yes, that two-gill sensationalist rag. I read your tiresome screed about the self-styled Phantom Thief and his letter of challenge. If you have come to tell me that my daughter is in danger, I can assure you that your concern is entirely unwarranted. I have not kept my Arabella safe to this day to see her whisked away from me by some fly-by-night rogue. I have spared no expense in securing the best protection that money can buy. The Brass Blades of the Gerbera, an elite unit of the most lethal swordsmen in the Sultanate. They say that one of them caused a man's heart to burst just by looking at him askance. The moment they set eyes on the would-be thief will be his last. If the thief is obliging enough to allow himself to be seen, or do those goggles serve some purpose other than making the wearer look utterly ridiculous? Consulting Inspector Briardian? Right, it was consulting. Not conniving or condescending. It was consulting. Even I forgot. Your reputation precedes you. And what, pray tell, would you propose? I've promised some of the wealthiest men in the realm that my daughter will be attending the festivities. To renege on my word would have dire implications for the family trade. My proposal is a simple one. Entrust the investigation to me. The thief will be in shackles before the banquet commences, and it will cost you not a whit of your precious skill. Yeah, he's just a rich kid, doing this for fun. It's a fun characterization, I guess. Although I guess the same as Hildebrand. Maybe there are no actual inspectors in the world of Final Fantasy XIV that actually make a living on inspecting. Very well, let us see if your reputation is deserved. But consider yourself warned. Greater fortunes than you will ever know hinge upon this banquet. I will not tolerate any disturbances. Who's that in the background? Such touching concern for his coin purse. If only he would muster the same for his daughter. But do tell, Inspector, after he slipped after he slipped under our noses last time, what makes you so confident that you can catch our thief this time around? Our man may boast 1,000 faces, but he has but a single modus operandi, and it is painfully obvious. A letter of challenge, a precious treasure whisked away from its rightful owner in the broad light of day. This tells me that our thief is an attention seeker with supreme confidence in his abilities. Doubtless he means to target the maiden using the same methods he used to abscond with the treaty blade. You would know about attention seekers with supreme confidence in their abilities, wouldn't you? Although I guess he doesn't do it for the attention, or maybe he does. Say, who's that in the background? Even now, the fiend is in our midst, having assumed the identity of someone who will be in close proximity to Miss Arabella at the feast. I have already narrowed the field. Arabella's betrothed, Vanus, would be an obvious target for our thief. So too would his father, Morgant, whatever. Yaltonolto and his wife Sainana, the guests of honor, will give a toast to the couple's happiness. Both will be standing close to the stage, where the bride-to-be is set to appear. Can our masked man change his height at will? Unless he was already a Lalafell, standing on stilts or something, the last time he was disguised. Who's that in the background? Needless to say, we cannot rule out Guguremu himself. Finally, we have Lewenhart, a steward of Guguremu's estate, and Miss Arabella's personal attendant. All the key players, save for the Lapis Maiden herself, have assembled in Costa del Sol. Doubtless the Phantom Thief lurks amongst them, his face concealed, gathering information and planning his course of attack. Say, who's in the foreground? And the background? We will begin our questioning of the suspects immediately. Should you encounter any suspicious individuals, you are to report back to me at once. Hildebrand Manderville. I could smell the stench of idiocy and incompetence from a mile away. The pleasure is all mine, contriving Inspector Priordian. Forgive me for not revealing myself sooner. I was simply conducting a bit of preliminary undercover investigative work. Did you hit him with the fish? Must have been a stiff fish. Contriving, huh? I guess he is rather contrived. Yet to see through my ingenious disguise with such ease, I dare say your powers of observation rival even my own. Fear not, friends. I, Hildebrand, Agent of Inquiry, Inspector Extraordinaire, have arrived to defend the maiden's honor as only a Manderville man can. If only it weren't raining. He does realize there's still a fish on his head, doesn't he? Good Inspector, I realize we have not seen eye to monocle in the past, but a fair maiden's virtue, mayhap her very life, is at stake. From one gentleman to another, let us put aside our differences. Yes, I would welcome your assistance in this case. Me? Assist you? Aren't you a funny man? Oh, it makes no matter. My plan is so flawless that not even your bungling can interfere this time. If you wish to assist me, you may do so by keeping watch over the suspects. In the meantime, I have a promising lead to investigate. I shall return before the banquet begins. While I know this may be asking much, do try not to do anything too stupid in my absence, will you? I would speak with you, but not here. I will be waiting for you outside Costa del Sol. Come quickly, for we do not have the luxury of time. I guess Nashu didn't get the goggles after all. Hildebrand, give her your goggles. She wants them. It is not by fate's whimsy that we have been reunited here today, friend. You were destined to be up by my side, as I apprehend the fiend and defend the fair maiden's virtue. Inspector Biodian seems to have taken a liking to you. You should be proud. As you can see by his treatment of someone we know, the man doesn't suffer fools lightly. Just don't let him know that you can't read. He'll probably make fun of you for that. Let's see, Biodian, over there. I guess none of the NPCs from that cutscene are hanging around. Unless... no? They are. Let's talk to them. Good food, good drink, and good tidings. That today's announcement will send even more gil flowing into our coffers, only makes the wine taste all the sweeter. A little bit of preliminary investigative work. I actually don't recall how this goes down. Maybe with my keen eye, I can spot the culprit before it even happens. Oh, how I am looking forward to meeting Miss Arabella. They say many a song is sung of her beauty. Mind you, there was a song or two sung of me in my day. They seem legit. Renting out Master Gegaruju's private property would be almost unthinkable for most folk. But Gil talks, and neither the Brugger Consortium nor the East Alderner Trading Company are in any danger of running their coffers dry. Finally, the rain stopped. But by the time I'm ready for the next episode, it's probably going to be completely different weather anyway. We'll enjoy it for this 1 minute. Weren't there more people? Yes, over here. I think just those. I doubt Master Gegaruju has anything to say. All I have done to raise Arabella to a beautiful young woman has been in anticipation of this day. I've never been more proud to call myself her father. I forget what voice he might have had, or what voice I gave him. It doesn't matter. There are too many characters. I can't remember these voices. And even if I could, there's no way I can do them on different days. Venice is me own flesh and blood, heir to the Brugger Consortium. It barely needs saying that he'd settle for no less than the most storied beauty the realm over. I am Venice, heir to the chairmanship of the Brugger Consortium. And who exactly were you again? I'm sorry, I just realized that I don't particularly care. Wow, rude. Komori, take a breather. Now that the rain stopped, you can enjoy a little bit of a vacation yourself, can't you? This isn't your job after all. So while the sun's out in Costa del Sol, it'd be a good opportunity to take a break.